All right, guys, welcome to K-Talk Radio. You are listening to Utah Home Sweet Home. I am your host, Yoshi Shiraki. Today, we are interviewing Trevor Thompson. Now, Trevor is a good friend of mine, and I'm very excited to interview him because he's done a lot of cool things in real estate. So, what we're going to be going over today is talking about the ins and outs of a real estate transaction from the eyes of a realtor, because Trevor is a realtor. So we'll also be discussing the top questions my guest Trevor has asked by his clients. We're also going to be discussing open houses. We'll also be discussing the nightmare story. Trevor's got a nightmare story. I've got one too, so stay tuned for that. And we're going to also go over the step-by-step of a real estate transaction for those of you who are thinking about buying or selling a home. They've never been through that transaction. We're going to give you what it takes, what goes through it. And then we're going to also talk about fixing and flipping basics 101. Trevor does a lot of fix and flips. He is a big time flipper, and that's why I invited him today, because I love chatting with him. And then we're also going to be touching on working with a realtor who already invests in real estate when you are looking to start investing in real estate as well. So like someone like Trevor or myself, we invest in real estate as well. So let's get started. This is my guest, Trevor Thompson. Trevor has been investing in real estate for... Trevor, how long have you been investing in real estate?
Actively as an investor or involved in investment,
yes.
It's about 7 years.
7 years.
And first as a property manager, and then for the last 3.5 years more involved on flipping schedules.
Awesome. Okay. And Trevor sits on the board of the Salt Lake Real Estate Investing Association. He has been part of that board for quite some time. How long have you been part of that board?
I think I've been on the board of the Salt Lake Real Estate Investors Association for 4.5 years now.
Okay.
We're mid-year right now, so it's probably about 4.5 years.
Wonderful. I think we sat on the board together. I was on the board for 5 years, and then I think when I left, about the time I was leaving, you were coming in, so we were on the board.
I think we shared that first year, because I remember you there, yeah.
Yes. So, Trevor, let's dive into this, because a lot of the listeners today have never even done a real estate transaction. You know, they're getting ready to buy their first home, or maybe even sell a home. Maybe they inherited the home. And so I'm going to ask you, what are the top 3 questions you are asked by your buyer clients? And if they're different, what are the top 3 questions that you are asked by your seller clients? So if they're different, let's first chat about the top 3 questions you typically get asked by buyer clients. Because the reason I ask this is if it's the top 3 questions you're asked, then they're and you're asked over and over and over again, they're probably good questions that people should consider asking.
Well, and everybody wants to know. I think for a buyer's side of the transaction, they always want to know, what can I afford? Okay, what areas are good is a question that I get really, really often. And the truth to that one is, I can't tell you. I don't know who you are, what you're comfortable with. We as a policy, we absolutely don't redline areas as far as saying it's a good area, bad area. It's always a depends question. It depends on what you're looking for. What does your lifestyle look like? So we need to learn a lot about each buyer so that we can give them advice. So what can I afford? What is a good area? And where do we begin? Okay? So what can I afford and where do we begin really comes down to the first question. You've got to have a good lender and make sure that you're ready to make a big purchase like that. And usually the first step for any realtor before you go out and look at any houses, other than online, of course, would be what can I afford and am I prepared to make a purchase? Mortgage qualification questions. Other than that, we really need to learn about what their lifestyle is like, what they're looking for, how many bedrooms, how many bathrooms, what type of property. Do you want a condo? Do you want yard work? Do you want a house? Are you looking for 3 acres and a second garage in the backyard for your boat and RV? These are all questions that definitely affect where you want to live.